We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
My oldest son, said before school, he waits outside on one side of the road with all the other year 7s, and the year 8s wait on the other side of the road, you know, like an unspoken rule. And there was a loaf of bread in the middle of the road. So someone positioned it so that the passing cars would drive over the bread. And if a car on the year 7 side passed over their side, they would cheer.
Yeah.
And if a car on the year 8 side passed on it, they would cheer. Or they would go, oh, if it missed. And it took me back. And I thought, yeah, that is what it's all about.
Really quite a big loaf of bread to straddle both lanes of traffic sufficiently.
I think it had spilled out.
Right.
So it was stretched bread.
So it wasn't like a baguette, for example.
Yeah, it was a 5-foot long baguette.
Yeah.
I think it was just I don't know if it was white or brown, I could ask.
It might have been one of those round sourdough loaves.
Could have been seeded. There's a lot of breads, aren't there? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of breads.
Should we just list breads for half an hour?
Yeah, go on. How many breads can you do?
Not many. Well, obviously.
Don't Google it. I saw you looking at a screen there. Your screen changed colour.
Does it?
You're Googling breads.
I was going to, yeah.
You are...
Let's see how many breads I can say without Google.
Top of your head, no Googling breads.
Okay, right. Potato bread.
Okay, is that a bread?
Well, that's got bread in the title, hasn't it?
Oh, so we're making up breads.
Potato bread is a bread.
Okay.
That is anti-Irish racism right there. Oh, your national dish. That's not real food. It's not bread.
All right, strawberry bread.
Potato bread is a thing. Mince bread.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Chicken bread.
Chicken bread. Oh, it's delicious, isn't it?
It's a chicken that's been stuffed with damp bread and then made airtight.
Oh.
You then give it a slow boil.
The classic boiled chicken. It's a lot like the bread we used to eat at school, isn't it?
All right, darling, you want more chicken bread?
No, you're all right, miss. Thanks.
Oh, go on, there's plenty to go round.
And at the cinema, we used to go to cinema, chicken bread.
Well, it was really useful because you'd hold the chicken carcass like you would a box of popcorn and then reach it. Instead of handfuls of popcorn, it'd be handfuls of wet bread. Oh, it was amazing.
Classic intro, really.
It was.
To watching films on the toilet. If you aren't quite on board with that, then switch off now.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to keep on going.
We're not suddenly going to revert to Josh Widdicombe's safe material about, oh, isn't it annoying when you have to get on the bus and then it costs more than you thought it would? Yeah, it's not going to be like that.
Just like that.
So this is a podcast about two middle-aged men who love watching films, especially violent action films, but we can't watch them with our family because our children are too young. Wives don't care for that kind of stuff, so the only time we can watch them is on the toilet, in secret, in little chunk down bits.
That's what we do, you know?
Ben explains it perfectly in the theme tune. Just listen to that.
I know, we do this every time, don't we? It's right there, right at the beginning.
It's because I hold out hope that there might be one new listener.
Yeah.
Oh, watching films on the toilet. Oh, I wonder what this is about.
Well, that's basically why we do the film thing, because we're in the hope that someone will see that film title and go, oh, I like that.
Yeah, I like films.
I'll tune in for that episode.
And then 30 seconds in, they're like, what the f*** is chicken bread?
But we like that, so it's fine.
We like chicken bread, so deal with it.
It would be very dry otherwise, wouldn't it? And I mean the podcast, not the chicken bread, because that can't be dry.
Sopping wet.
That is never dry.
Mwah.
Anyway, today's film is Con Air, which came out in 1997 and stars Nicolas Cage and John Malkovich, amongst others. So we're going to be talking about that later, which is fun. But to start with, I have a couple of pieces of correspondence, don't we?
I have one here in the email. So really helpfully, this person's done a very good job of contextualising the reason for their email. So I don't need to give it that much of an introduction.
That's kind of them.
It was really thoughtful of them.
That is nice of them.
Yeah. Because, hello, I listened with great interest to your discussion about cat burglar attire in your last episode. I feel like I might be able to shed some light on this matter since I, myself, am a cat burglar.
Oh my goodness.
I must say I was quite amused at your theories that cat burgs, as we call ourselves... Sorry.
Yeah, the shorthand in the industry.
I must say I was quite amused at your theory. Sorry. I must say I was quite amused at your theories that cat burgs, as we call ourselves, wear either tracksuits or motorbike leathers. The truth is, both are wrong.
Yeah.
To put you out of your misery, here is a comprehensive breakdown of the stuff we wear when we're going out burging. Okay. Socks, vests, thermal leggings, grey slacks, argyle knit sweater, fisherman's jerkin, jumpers, high-vis tabard, satin jumpsuit, bomber jacket, denim hot pants, a bonnet, oven gloves, a big nappy, flip-flops, shawl, and a bin bag. Yours sincerely, George Hurst, Belmarsh Prison.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like the subtext of that is that outfit that you wore ultimately led to him getting captured.
I think so. What stood out to me in that list, and we get a lot of lists in our letters, don't we?
We do, yeah.
The ones you read normally.
They are, yeah. They're really easy to...
I thought the nappy was very practical.
Yes.
That's a really good idea, because if you're burging,
yeah,
then you don't want to be caught short, have to use a toilet, because you throw your DNA all up in that, don't you?
Yeah, well, exactly. So there's that also, oven gloves. There's no way you'll get your fingerprints on anything.
No, I mean, they're not...
It's difficult to crack a safe with an oven glove on, wouldn't it?
Would, but I guess if you're an experienced cat burger... Then...
And these are the ones that are joined together.
Yeah, yeah.
In the middle.
Of course.
They're not individual gloves, they've got the joined bit.
Because you might lose one. You're not going to lose that.
Also, if you were going to steal a casserole,
it'd
be ideal for that, wouldn't it?
Any hot dish.
So, Ben, did you have a bit of...
Well, Eamonn, you reminded me last week that we haven't heard from our resident rapper/street poet, Big Turkey Neck, for a long time.
No.
So just as a reminder to anyone that might have forgotten or hasn't heard before, Big Turkey Neck, I happened to stumble upon a book of his rhymes in a public toilet quite some time ago, and I shared a couple.
They're absolute dynamite.
So here we go. So this is the next page in his book. So, Big Turkey Neck. Been chatting to this gal online for some time. Been chatting to this gal online, she's so fine. Been chatting to this gal online, could she be mine? Been chatting to this gal, she lives in Palestine. Says she's coming home to visit her fam. Got some relatives that live in West Ham. Wants to see the sights on an open bus tour. Westminster Abbey and the M&M store.
Oh.
Told my boy Keith Davis about her, but he's not sure. Good old Keith Davis. This gal's too pen to be rolling with you. Why you getting gas, fam? She's too good to be true. She's parring you, bruv. It's a blatant trick. It's an old man with a beard and a 10-inch husband. A 10-inch husband? What are you chatting about, brother? Good afternoon, Sorry. Good afternoon, Mrs. Turkey Neck, Keith says to my mother. We were chatting about the gal your son met on the gram. Yeah, Keith says she's married to a very small man. That's not quite what I meant. I was being polite. But there's something about her that doesn't seem right. Mum said make sure you wear a really nice cologne. Then I saw some unread messages on my phone. Keith had sent a pic of a really large phallus, and the gal had asked to meet me outside Buckingham Palace. Waiting for an Uber on the street outside my house, all I could think about was her minuscule spouse. Rocked up to the palace, said she'd be a bit late. So I waited for a while and saw a gnome beside the gate. As I got a little closer, realised it weren't a gnome, but this tiny little guy who was texting on his phone. Man was vexed, said he'd been standing in the cold for bare time, waiting for this girl that he'd married online. I said, this gal doesn't happen to come from Palestine. He dropped his phone and let out a sort of high-pitched whine. We waited for a bit, but the catfish didn't show. Told little Mandem we'd been played, but he said, you never know. Maybe she's got lost or the traffic's bare slow. I'll wait a little bit longer. Don't worry, you can go. So I got a bus home and I left him standing there. Went pub with Keith Davis and he said, fam, to be fair, I met some gal online last year, made man feel really silly. Some 60-year-old guy who said he had a 10-inch Mum walked in the bar and the conversation ended. Don't know what it was about that man that left Keith so offended. But if you happen to be walking round Queen Elizabeth's yard and you spot a little gnome by the gate standing guard, and he asks if you've seen this girl that he met on Instagram, say yeah. And she was asking if I'd seen a 10-inch man.
Oh.
And that's it. That was the poem.
It's a wonderful story, that.
Many twists and turns. I didn't quite know where it was going to go.
What I like about it is the first verse is very much kind of... I mean, I'm no expert, but it felt like it had the rhyming structure of a modern day grime tune.
Yeah.
And almost immediately it turns into a traditionally structured poem.
Traditionally structured long-form poem.
Long-form poem.
Oh, there's something I forgot at the end.
Oh, yeah?
It was on the next page because it took up a whole page. It says, shut your mouth.
Oh, I love it when he does that.
So, yeah, so who knows? Maybe we'll hear from Big Tech.
Please, come on, BTN.
So there we go. Any toilet news, Eamon?
Yeah.
Of course we got some toilet news.
Right. Nearly 1 in 6 adults have gobbled snacks while on the toilet, according to research.
Oh, my.
A poll of 2,000 adults has revealed the strangest places they have snuck into a snack. With more than 1 in 5 chomping in the bath. And 18% nibbling in the shed.
The shed?
With 1 in 20 feeling peckish from getting hot and steamy in the bedroom.
Oh, how many on the toilet?
1 in 6.
Okay. Oh, eating on the toilet, no. Have you ever done that?
No. I have had a drink on the toilet before.
The bath I find odd.
I do.
Like, that would give you a stomachache, I think.
Depends what you're eating.
Yeah, I guess if you were eating, like, a handful of glass, that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, you should never eat a handful of glass in the bath.
No. That would give you a stomachache. That's what I meant.
I don't like the idea of being all wet and sudsy and also eating something as well.
A wet hand to food? I read about this Charlie Brooker. He was so addicted to cigarettes that he used to smoke in the shower.
In the shower?
Yeah. I'm not quite sure how you do that. I guess you wash with one hand and keep another hand out.
Or you cut a hole in the shower curtain that you can poke your head through.
That's smart. Yeah, but what about, where would you keep the cigarette?
You'd have to have it on a hanger.
Or a stand?
Like a mic stand, but it's just a single cigarette there, which you have to light before you get in. You then poke your head through the shower curtain, puff away, and then presumably you have both hands, so you can suds up your ball sack and your back and everything like that.
Your main parts.
Yeah.
But you have wet lips, though. That would mess it up, wouldn't it?
Well, I imagine that you would poke your head through first and then turn on the shower.
I'm assuming he was doing this during the shower, you know? Like...
What, have multiple cigarettes?
You wouldn't do it all at once. Like, poke your head through the whole thing.
I see what you mean.
You know, you'd poke your head through multiple times, I imagine.
That is a conundrum. Well, maybe he's got a really long pipe that goes to a cigarette that's in the other room.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten a snack in the shed?
Just stay in the house. Why would you?
You don't even have a shed, do you? I've got 2, mate, and I built one of them from scratch.
Did you?
To suck it.
Yes. Yay. Oh, well done.
Yeah, that's right. And do you know what? It was through leftover bits of wood from the garden fence, which I also built.
I didn't realise you were such an alpha male.
Just very practical and handy.
Yeah, you are, aren't you?
I'm like the old-fashioned strong silent type.
You're a lot more right-wing since you built that shed.
It has made me more right-wing.
Yeah.
Made me scared of an immigrant stealing it.
Yeah. No, we did have a shed. Actually just had it ripped apart and taken down.
Did you rip it apart yourself?
No. God, no. Paid someone to do it.
Yeah, I had a real man to do it.
Getting my hands dirty doing that. Disgusting. Very soft hands, Amy.
Yeah. I'm
just smoothing my fingers together. Can you hear this? Can't hear it because they're so soft.
So soft.
If Eamonn was to do that...
Let me try mine. Quite different.
See, that's what I'm saying. Can't hear my fingers. They're the soft hands of a soft man. Whereas you, Eamonn, you're a very hard, sort of racist man. Cool. All right, well, on to Con Air. We love a film that we can watch on the toilet, don't we? And this is a classic. I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I was able to sit in my toilet house and take it in 4 sittings.
Mm-hmm. It took me 8 sittings.
Twice as many as me.
Yeah.
What have you drunken for me to provide me with time in which to do my summer wee of the film?
I was looking for inspiration for a drink, and then I took it from Nic Cage film Leaving Las Vegas, where he's an alcoholic who goes to Las Vegas to drink himself to death.
He does.
So I matched him drink for drink.
Wow.
Every time he drank, I drank.
And how did that go?
I lost about 5 days.
Did you end up in hospital?
At one point, I think I was in hospital. I can't be sure.
That's an adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving Las Vegas is really about the kind of adventures that you can have when you really indulge in alcohol, isn't it?
It really does glamorise alcohol, doesn't it? It makes it look delicious.
So it was quite inappropriate, the whole thing. Misjudged. Okay, cool. So how long do I get? And thank you for that.
1 minute and 12 seconds.
All right, I think I can do it.
Right, go.
So, Nic Cage is an army ranger who returns to Alabama to be reunited with his pregnant wife. Unfortunately, he gets in a fight outside a bar, ends up accidentally killing someone, and gets sent to prison. Oops! 8 years later, he served his time, and he's heading back home to meet his daughter on a prison transport plane, which also happens to be carrying some of the country's most dangerous prisoners, including John Malkovich, Ving Rhames, Steve Buscemi, Dave Chappelle, and Danny Trejo. The flight is overseen by a liberal US Marshal, played by John Cusack, and an incompetent DEA agent, played by Colm Meaney. And they butt heads throughout the film. When the prisoners hijack the plane, it's up to Nick and John Cusack to stop them, very gradually, not before they've killed a lot of innocent people and done a lot of property damage. The plane ends up landing on the Las Vegas Strip, there's a fire truck chase, and Malkovich gets his head crushed by a head-crushing machine. Finally, Nic Cage is reunited with his wife and daughter, and a mass-murdering escapee tries his luck at the craps table. The end.
All right, Ben, well, I can tell you that took 1 minute and 12 seconds, so you did it in exactly your allotted time.
That's good. That's spot on then.
Mm-hmm. I've just noticed something, Ben.
Yes, Eamonn.
Your audio all of a sudden seems much better than it was just now.
I know. So we are recording this chat about the film after what we refer to as the surround, aren't we? And yes, something went wrong with my audio. I think maybe the laptop mic recorded it instead of my microphone, which I was very cross with.
So basically now we're treated to the full velvety softness.
Sultry, Ben. I did say to you that I got very cross when I was editing it, to the point where I considered recording my entire audio track for the episode again.
Yeah.
But then I decided that would be pointless.
So anyway, but what will happen, unfortunately, is don't get used to Ben's lovely voice.
Yeah.
As soon as this film chat stops, we then go back to the bit we recorded earlier. His voice sounds tinny as hell and just rubbish.
Don't worry, I'll give you a warning.
Yeah, he'll count you in.
I'll count you in, it's fine. Good. What do you think of Nic Cage in general?
He's not a subtle actor. In whatever he does, he's very over the top.
It's not a film, but my favourite appearance of his was on Wogan. Cartwheeled out onto the stage and threw money at the audience.
It's amazing. That's
which
so
is the
funny.
greatest entrance of all time.
Yeah, I think, and actually I think this kind of film works really well for him because it's an over-the-top film, so it requires an over-the-top performance.
It certainly is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's one of his best performances.
It's become almost like a point of parody. I think this was so over the top, the kind of the honourable southern gent who's like hard as nails, chinning everyone, but out of love.
The thing is, because initially, when he goes to the bar, the accent, it's not completely ridiculous. It's almost like they shot that a year or so before they did the rest of the film.
Yeah.
And then when he's in the prison and he's narrating the letters, then you get the full thump of the Alabama tone. Dear Casey, thank you for sending me those letters. I can do a handstand press up.
I mean, it's almost Forrest Gump, isn't it?
It's very close. It does make him sound dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that the Alabama accent makes people sound dumb, but Nic Cage's version of it does make him sound dumb.
And they do sound dumb as well, don't they? The people from Alabama.
I thought you might say that.
But they are.
No. That's not what I said.
But that's what you meant. One thing I did quite like about it, it takes all the guesswork out of this film.
Yes.
So the first time you see John Cusack, you see him wearing socks and sandals. So you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's liberal.
Yeah, he's a bit liberal.
Yeah.
First time you see Cole Meany, he parks in a handicapped spot. So, okay, he's a douchebag. Yeah. And in a way, I kind of respect it in that I'm going to do all the hard work for you, like this man, and don't like this man. So this is the good guy. This is the annoying good guy. Yeah. This is the bad guy who you kind of like, and this is the bad guy. It's all that work is done for you.
Nicolas Cage's character work is all wrapped up within the first 3 minutes. He's an army man who accidentally kills someone, and now he's getting out of prison, and that's it. He's
sent to prison for involuntary manslaughter, I think, is the crime he commits. So I love lists, don't you?
Oh, you get a kick out of a list.
So I'm just basically wondering what crime you would be willing to commit in order to protect your wife.
Okay.
I'm going to read out a number of crimes. Okay. And you either say yes or no.
Right, so I'm doing this to protect my wife.
To protect your wife, yeah. These are all actual crimes, by the way. Arson.
Okay, arson, yeah.
Abstraction of electricity.
Oh, yeah.
Activities relating to opium.
Yeah.
Agreeing to indemnify sureties.
I think so.
Armed robbery.
Oh, yeah.
Being drunk on an aircraft.
Yeah.
Contamination of goods with intent.
Oh, don't know about that.
Okay. Sex with adult relative.
You tried to throw that in there to catch me out. No.
Counterfeiting customs documents.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a gimme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Firing on revenue vessel.
A revenue vessel?
Don't know what that means.
Like a inland revenue vessel?
I'm assuming they got some boats. I don't know.
Like a tax boat.
Yeah, a tax boat.
Oh, yeah, I'd do that for free.
Okay. Light treason.
Light treason, yeah.
I mean, that's not an actual crime. I got that from Arrested Development. Keeping this is a real crime. Keeping a disorderly house.
Oh no, that I couldn't.
You couldn't do that.
No, couldn't live in that.
Wanton or furious driving.
Yeah.
Placing wood, etc. on railway.
So derailing a train. Oh, that's bad, isn't it? It's my wife though, so yeah.
Okay. And stirring up racial hatred.
Nope.
We wouldn't do that.
No, try to catch me out again. Yeah.
Okay.
Not going to agree to that.
Okay. Well, I did get you saying yes a lot. So once the edit is completed, we'll see how that pans out.
Oh, good.
That was really, really eye-opening there. You gave those a lot of thought. Well done.
Yeah, I tried not to, but I kind of had to.
Yeah.
No, that was good. And then, of course, we have John Malkovich overemphasizing every single word he says.
Yeah, I don't think he's brilliant as a bad guy in this.
No, I don't think he is. Really.
He's too actorly. Like Danny Trejo is a far better convincing bad guy because at one point, I think we've said this before, at one point he was a bad guy.
Yeah, like he was a bank robber. He's a presence, isn't he?
He has a presence to him, and he is quite scary in his demeanour. Whereas some RADA-trained thespian pretending to be a tough guy is just not going to work.
Who else have we got? We've got Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
He's pretty fun.
I was sad he wasn't in it for longer.
I read that he improvised a lot of his lines, and that didn't really surprise me.
Yeah,
he was funny. I mean, the sense of humour in general in the film is very mean.
It's very mean-spirited. It's very patchy as well, because there's some really... Most of it is god-awful, like really terrible kind of jokes. But there's one bit in particular that really tickled me, which is when Cyrus the Virus asked the head guard, what's the in-flight movie? He says it's called I'll Never Make Love to a Woman on the Beach Again, and it's preceded by the award-winning short No More Steak for Me Ever. And I was just like, well, that was good. That's a good joke, and he delivered it really well. Good.
I mean, that's haunting, isn't it? No more steak for me, ever. Can you imagine that?
Well, I can't because I only eat meat.
I know, exactly.
Don't reveal that until later on in the podcast. So another meta moment for you there, letting you inside our process.
It's quite funny when Dave Chappelle's body lands on the car.
Yes, that was
But
funny.
again, not really fair on those people.
In a way, I kind of respect the filmmaker in that. When we cut to that couple in the car, it suddenly plays this real comedy piece of music, and it's very much setting up something's about to happen to this couple of characters, which they're probably not going to like. And there's a body landing on their car. What do you think of the nicknames? I think the nicknames are pretty good.
So what we got? We got Cyrus the Virus.
You've got Diamond Dog, who's...
it works. That's Ving Rhames, isn't it?
We've got Billy Bedlam, with the guy with the yellow teeth. What would your prison nickname be?
What about Ben or Chinyu?
Oh, I like that.
It's got a contracted form of Ben Will in there.
Benel.
That's unique.
Yeah.
You don't see that very often. No. It's more like a sentence. Oh, Ben or Chinyu's coming.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
What about you?
What about Tough Eamonn? That's got a ring to it.
That's good. That's pretty good.
You wouldn't tangle with that guy, would you?
It does sound like you're in an Irish prison now, in my head, for some reason. You wouldn't tangle with Tough Eamonn. So Ben or Chinyu and Tough Eamonn. Ah, good. It's weird. Since we're so tough, have you ever been shot in the arm and just kept going forward?
Yeah. I mean, that is... It's interesting. I think there has been a bit of a...
I don't think the mic's going to hear you like that. Sorry.
I mean, you're a fine one to talk about microphone mishaps.
That wasn't meant for the podcast. That was just me.
I'm keeping that in to teach you a lesson. I put my eyes over the top half of my face, and Ben was going...
You put your eyes over the top half of your face.
That's right.
Come on, if you're picking apart everything that someone says...
I'm going to edit that bit out. And just go straight to me saying, I put my hands over my face.
Oh,
and then Ben,
God.
who can't even plug in a microphone, has the audacity to pick me up on it.
We're recording this at the tail end of the week. It's been a weird, long, busy week.
It has been,
just forgive us. We should forgive each other.
Okay. Grudgingly.
I got shot once. So I was lying down with my mouth wide open.
Yeah.
And the bullet went in my mouth and straight out of my back end.
Did it?
Yeah.
Like all the way through like your intestines?
All the way through in a straight line.
And did it cause any internal damage or?
No, broke a lamp.
Oh.
There's a lamp behind me.
So did it look like you fired a bullet out of your rear end?
Yeah, it did. It was brilliant.
Man, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I tried it again and then it blew my teeth out, so that was the end.
And you did also get shot by Jensen Button. Do you not remember?
Yeah, in the face of the blunderbuss.
Blunderbuss, wasn't it? Do you remember all that stuff he put in it? He shot into your face.
I don't want to talk about that though.
Another really good list that was.
That was a good
list.
list.
That was a good list. Really good one.
It was a very strong list.
Yeah, I'm basically becoming flipping Ronnie Barker. That's how I just like making lists now. Can't actually be bothered to write actual jokes. Just going to write a list of things that sound funny.
But they work. They do work.
It's a slippery slope, isn't it? Soon I'm going to get like really into spoonerisms. And I know they're sort of well-loved national treasures. I think they're dog shit, the two Ronnies.
Oh, I watched a bit of them at Christmas with my son and we really enjoyed them.
I think everyone gets mistaken. 4 Candles, yeah, that's pretty funny. Nothing else they've done is good. Nothing.
No, it was funny. It was funny. There was like a best of thing. It was just...
Ben, you're mistaken. It's all terrible.
Do
you not remember it was terrible?
Sometimes I just forget. I just
take
forget
a beat
things.
And then remember that it was terrible.
They're terrible. I didn't enjoy it at Christmas with my son.
That's right.
They're terrible.
Thanks.
Everything's bad. Okay. Cool.
Good.
We're back on track. Yeah. Good. There was something in this. So I think we've talked before. I remember when we watched Seven, there was a lot of terrible crime scene work.
Right.
And tampering. Brad Pitt, I think at the beginning of Seven, he just picks things up and he snots on the floor, doesn't he? He actually blows his nose on the floor of a crime scene. Yeah. In this film, right at the end, Danny Trejo has died on the plane and he's hanging like by one arm. And the guys who find him, the police who find him say, yeah, this one's dead. We better get him out of here. Why do they need to get him out of the plane? Like, why do they need to remove him from the crime scene immediately? Surely they should leave him there and assess everything that's gone on.
Yes, the only reason for that is the audience getting closure on that character.
Yeah.
There's no film-based reason to do that.
There's nothing. There is no reason to remove that body immediately.
Someone could have come in, looked directly at the camera and gone, Danny Trejo's dead.
Yeah. He's dead. The idea that you go to a massive crime scene and everyone's like, right, get these bodies out of here as quick as you can. It doesn't make any sense. I think I like collecting these bad forensics.
Mm-hmm. That could be a podcast in its own right.
We'll call it pre-CSI poor forensic work. Is that a good name for a podcast?
I think it needs a little bit of a workshop, that one.
On the toilet?
Yes!
Yeah. Okay.
Sold.
Okay. There we go. Pre-CSI poor forensic crimes on the toilet.
I mean, it scans beautifully, doesn't it?
How would you get to Vegas? Would you land a plane on the Strip?
It certainly seems like the most straightforward way to go about it, doesn't it?
It makes sense. It's quick. You're there. If you landed the plane, you could step out, go into the casino. It actually makes quite a lot of sense.
I do like that. I've never been to Vegas, but I'm assuming the Strip isn't that wide and obstacle-free that you could land.
There is no way.
Aircraft that size on it relatively unimpeded.
Absolutely no way that you would be getting away with that. I have been to Vegas.
You have, haven't you?
Had a great time.
So you met your wife in Vegas, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay,
No.
Banding the first rule of improv there, Ben.
Yeah, but look, Eamonn, as we've established, I am willing to do a lot of things to protect my wife.
You are.
And one of those things is
Stirring up racial hatred.
putting a stop to your silly improv. And that is what I did.
That is one of the... that made my long list of crimes.
Is that a crime? Putting a stop to improv?
Putting a stop to improv, yeah.
Saying no in an improv.
That's right. Benjamin, would you...
that's not my name. What's my name?
Oh, Ben will chin you.
Ben or chin you?
Ben will chin you.
Yes, tough Eamonn.
Would you flush this film down the toilet, round the U-bend, never to be seen again?
Yeah.
Or would you pull it out of the toilet with gloved hands, lovingly place it in a holding tank for all your most special films?
So for the first half of this film, I was thinking, oh my, is this actually going to end up in the tank of glory? And then after the halfway point, I thought, no, I'd actually flush it. I was enjoying it, and then I really lost interest. It just got really stupid, and I didn't care anymore. So no, I would flush it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was fun to revisit it. But it's not a classic.
No, it's not. Yeah, I would mirror your sentiments. I think first half I was pleasantly surprised. After that kind of junkyard scene, I was like, this is a bit rubbish.
No, you're all right, mate. Do you know what I mean? Not being funny.
Not being funny. Don't care for this film.
Yeah, not being funny. We're actually not. We're not being funny.
That was that's what we should have called this podcast. Not being funny on the toilet.
That's actually quite good.
That is quite good, isn't it?
We're not being funny on the toilet. That works better than the other one.
Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful. There we go.
Maybe. Okay, so now it's back to my terrible tinny death voice.
Oh God!
And well, I was just going to spoil who won the top 5, but I won't. Because we already know. But stay tuned.
We know, but you don't.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Great. So that was Con Air.
Mm.
And now on to this week's top 5.
Yes.
This week we are going to guess each other's top 5 Nic Cage movies.
Right, well, I lost last time, so I get to go foist.
Okay.
I'm going to say Duplicate, Raising Arizona.
No.
Oh, damn
I
it.
think I've seen it. I don't really remember it. Okay, then for you, Leaving Las Vegas.
Yes. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It's like a prequel to the Hangover films, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, so that's 1-0 to you. Damn it. Right, I'm going to say... This is out there. I'm going to say Mandy.
Yeah.
Yes. Not seen it.
It's very Nic Cage.
All right.
Next for me, this is a duplicate. Adaptation.
Yeah.
It's a great film, isn't it?
But I remember it being funny, weird, but also quite affecting as well, because he plays his twin brother, doesn't he?
Yeah, it was a great performance, and he pulls them out of the bag.
Wow, okay, so that's 2-1 to you. I have to get this right.
Yeah.
Damn it. Okay, Duplicate, Face Off.
No. No, I didn't pick Face Off.
Why not?
It's not that good.
We saw it together.
That doesn't mean it's good. Go on then. Top 5?
I had Raising Arizona, Living in Las Vegas, Adaptation, Face Off, and Kick-Ass.
I also had Kick-Ass, an Adaptation, and Mandy.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 recent Nic Cage films, which I really enjoyed. One called The Trust, with Elijah Wood, and Pig.
I thought about putting that one down, but I wasn't sure.
So there we go. So I done a win again.
Done another win.
I am win.
That's 2 back to back.
Oh, that's good.
No, it's not good.
Okay, so your forfeit this week, Eamonn, is to defend your wife's honour.
Oh, okay, I like that.
Okay, and I'm going to leave that with you.
Wide open. All right.
We're also recording this after the rest of it. So
yeah.
Again, I hope you enjoy this brief spell of glorious audio.
Let's let this go on a bit longer. Just say some words. Just say some words.
Just say some words. Oh, some sultry words.
Yeah.
Oh, you know who's got a sultry voice? The co-op pre-recorded checkout lady.
Oh, yeah?
Please put your items in the bagging area.
Oh, yeah.
Put your heavy items...
Bet you'd like to bag her up, wouldn't you? Don't know what that means.
Oh, they're bit rude. Don't know.
Ruder
her.
than
She's just a
putting
voice.
your junk in the bagging area?
I didn't say
That's
that.
what you meant.
I didn't say that. I said put something heavy. That's not what I
Oh,
said.
yeah, that's right. Your junk's quite light, isn't it?
I'm wrapping this up. Unfortunately, I would have kept this going for longer, but Eamon's just gone all filthy, so we're going back to my rubbish voice. Bye.
All right, that'll be good. And then last week, well, you did another forfeit. So you're really taking its toll, I can tell.
I know.
You had to solve a problem, didn't you?
Yes, so I had to solve the Birch and Swinnerton Dye conjecture, one of 8 Millennium Prize problems, unsolved maths problem. Here's how I got on. So my forfeit this episode was to solve the Birch and Swinnerton Dye conjecture, an unsolved maths problem. Don't want to blow my own trumpet, but I did get an A in maths at GCSE. I've got a nice hot pot of coffee in the go, a plate of jammy dodgers. Hopefully I'll have this cracked in no time. Okay, first things first, let's have a little look on Wikipedia. In the early 1960s, Peter Swinnerton Dye used the EDSAC2 computer to calculate the number of points modulo p, denoted by np, for a large number of primes p on elliptic curves whose rank was known. For these numerical results, Birch and Swinnerton Dye conjectured that np for a curve E with rank R obeys an asymptotic law. So pi p greater than x np over p equals c log brackets x r as x arrow infinity, where c is constant. Interesting. Yes, very good. Maybe I'll just see if there's a video on YouTube about it.
Swinnerton Dye made the final connection of the ring with complex analysis. They noticed that several elliptic curves could be modeled with something known as an L function, and became convinced that this could successfully be applied to all elliptic curves. The Riemann zeta function is also one of these special L functions, although arguably the most special.
Okay, the video, also really interesting. Just wondering if there's a slightly more accessible way into this. I'll just see if there's a Sparks Notes on it. So, no Sparks Notes. It's now 3:30 AM. I think it's time for me to crack on. I'm feeling pretty determined. I'm like a dog with a bone with things like this. I'm just going to keep going until I solve it. It's now 4 days later. I've been awake for 93 hours straight. I've had 8 gallons of coffee, and too many jammy dodgers to count. My heart is racing and I keep blacking out, but the good news is I'm pretty sure I have an ironclad solution to the Birch-Swinnerton Dye conjecture. I was visited by the ghost of Blaise Pascal last night, who took one look at my workings and gave me a big thumbs up and a simple Tres bien. I'm currently on hold to Lord Thomas Berkeley, Professor Emeritus of Mathematics at Cambridge University, to present my findings. Oh, here we go.
I believe you have the answer to the Swinnerton Dye conjecture, a problem that has plagued the world's greatest minds for years.
I do, Lord Berkeley. I definitely do. 100%.
Then please tell me, what is the solution to the Swinnerton Dye conjecture?
Okay, Lord Berkeley, listen up. It's this. Dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. Wavy lines. P over N, where N is N. 8 equals D epsilon to the power of percentage at maths. I think he's in shock.
Oh, good. Well done. So next time, Eamon, we are going to indulge in a little bit of Bayhem.
Okay.
Which is not something we've done before.
It's not.
So we're going to watch Ambulance, which is a new Michael Bay starring Jake Gyllenhaal. How do you feel in general about Michael Bay?
I don't like him. I don't like his stupid shit-eating grin face.
Yeah, but, you know, let's not give the impression that we're writing it off before we've seen it.
No, I'll give it a fair shake.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Expectations are set to low.
Well, then that's a good thing, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Can only exceed our expectations.
We'll see.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, as ever. Well done if you made it past the chicken bread.
Yeah.
And
chicken bread is very much the gatekeeper of this episode. If you can't get past the chicken bread, then the show's over.
So yeah, we're on the social medias. Do we need to shout them out? They get enough attention, don't they?
Yeah. We're on all the right-wing ones now. We're on Parler. We're desperate to get on Trump's one. Truth Social, whenever that sets up.
You big us up in your shed, don't you, on those? In your right-wing shed?
Yeah. All my mates are on are on Trump Social. We love it.
Yeah, they love it, don't they? Mm-hmm. Should we do one of those Patreons at some point? Should we do that?
Yeah.
Do you think anyone would do it? We've got nothing to lose, have we?
Pride. I think a little bit of pride.
Again, as a soft man, I have no pride.
As a rugged outdoorsman with abundant pride, I feel there's a huge amount to be lost.
Yeah. Debilitating pride, I would say. There's many things you won't do because your pride gets in the way.
It would make my Stetson shrink.
You won't hug your children. You won't compliment your wife.
Don't compliment my wife. Don't make eye contact with my family.
Yeah.
I only eat meat for dinners.
That's it.
Not even carbs. I'd be like, where's my meat?
We won't go to any restaurant.
Don't listen to any music because I think it might be in some way a bit fruity.
Bit perverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the above. So we'll keep thinking about that.
Okay.
Well, Eamon, over to you. You big prideful gorilla man.
Keep flushing.